That's not welcome here!
Let him do his job. Give him a bit of respect. It's just disgraceful.
Donald Trump touched down in London for a 3-day state visit. But before Air Force One had even arrived, the president made the headlines. He said that Meghan Markle was nasty about him after finding out that she had made less than complimentary remarks about him during the 2016 US election, and then launching into a Twitter tirade against the Mayor of London, branding him a stone-cold loser. But then he did have some nice things to say, backing Boris Johnson's bid to replace Theresa May as the next Tory Prime Minister.
So this one is the big Trump baby balloon and this one is the mini Trump baby balloon.
As Trump prepared for his visit, so did protesters.
Yeah, I think maybe we just start putting it up.
The Trump baby blimp was back after its appearance during the president's trip to the UK last year.
He's not a very good baby. It's always a big deal to get Trump baby out.
And in Deptford, there was a unique delivery.
All right, here's Trump sitting on the golden toilet. His hands move and he sort of makes texting motions. I suppose the statement that's being made here is that his tweets are manure. I think we're trying to call attention to how insane he is and how ridiculous his politics are.
Many anti-Trump protesters oppose his policies and worldview on things, like climate change, immigration, and trade. They were angry that Donald Trump had been given a full state visit. It's a bigger deal than a regular working trip, as it's far more formal and involves the royal family. On day one of his visit, he got to inspect the troops with the Queen at Buckingham Palace, lay a wreath at the tomb of the unknown warrior in Westminster Abbey, and meet the Prince of Wales and Duchess of Cornwall at Clarence House. After all the pomp and ceremony, on day two it was down to business. Post-Brexit, Britain wants a good trade deal with the US, and once again, Trump made the headlines, signalling that NHS could be part of a trade package.
The United States is committed to a phenomenal trade deal between the US and the UK. I can't hear him. What?
It's the National Health Service. He says, should the National Health Service be on the table?
Everything's on the table.
Although he later rode back on the comments, saying that NHS is something he does not consider part of trade. For the president, the visit was also a photo opportunity ahead of his 2020 election campaign.
It's the greatest alliance the world has ever known.
The President suggested that I sued the European Union, which we didn't do. We went into negotiations and we came out with a good deal.
Yeah, that's not such a... I would have sued, but that's okay.
With so much travel involved, keeping the president safe wasn't straightforward.
People are forming these mobs, going around and pushing people around. I think that we need more police here.
Nearly £18 million was spent policing Trump's last visit to the capital in 2018. This time around, 3,000 officers were deployed each day to keep the president and protesters apart, which seemed to work.
I didn't see the protesters until just a little while ago, and it was a very, very small group of people put in for political reasons, so it was fake news.
This year's protest was much smaller than last year. Some of his supporters were in the crowd.
He's a legend, I love him.
He's not that bad. Yeah. Everyone thinks he's the worst ever. We're not saying he's the best ever. Nope. But we're just saying he's not as bad as everyone thinks. He's done some really good things.
He's actually doing an overall really great job in the United States in terms of the economy, in terms of foreign policy.
After an eventful couple of days in London, President Trump headed to Portsmouth for D-Day commemorations, before flying to Ireland for a game of golf at his Doonbeg resort. But he couldn't leave without sending one last tweet. Jamie Moreland, BBC London News.